Hey guys, this is Shubham and welcome to another video lecture of this COVID-19 tracker app tutorial series. In the last couple of videos, we have learned to implement our Recyclerview and load the list of states with its corresponding cases count from the API with the help of Recyclerview adapter class and a custom layout. We have also implemented the search feature to our list of states. Then we have implemented the click events on the items of the state list to open a new activity and load all the data for that particular state by passing the values with an intent using a method called putExtra. If you haven't watched my previous videos, then I strongly recommend to first watch those before getting into this video. The link is given in the suggestion, which is currently showing at the top right corner of your screen. So go to those videos and watch them first. In this video, we will implement the Recyclerview to load the list of district with its corresponding total confirmed cases whenever you click on the button given in the each state data activity for a particular state. And we will also implement the click events on those items in the list of districts so that it will pass all the cases data of that particular district to the next activity and load all the views of that activity layout. So let's get started with the video without wasting any time. But before implementing the codes to show the district data, I will explain you a feature which I've added here but forgot to mention in my previous videos. The feature is when you search for a particular state in the search box, then the text you wrote in the search box will be highlighted in the search list in the list you will get as a result with a different color. So let me show you that. If I write anything, like if I write bi, then you can see we have got a result, and in the result the text part which I have written in the text box is highlighted here. So I have written bi, then bi part is highlighted. If I write anything else, bihar, if I write full word, then it will change the color of whole. So let's see how we have implemented this. So inside our state-wise data activity class, previously what we have done is we were passing just one parameter inside this function, only the filtered list array list. But now I have added another parameter, which is the text which we are writing in the search box, and we are passing it into this function filter list. So let's go to this filter list function, which is inside our adapter class. So here this is the function, and inside this we are receiving this text. So we are basically doing is we are assigning this text value inside a string variable search text. So this search text we have already initialized at the top with an empty string, and the next thing we did is we have added this line of codes. So this part is basically checking for the length of this search text which we have written. If we didn't written anything, then it will just set the text as it is. But if we have written something in the search box, then obviously it will not be less than 0 or 0. It will always greater than 0 if you write anything inside the search box. Then it will enter into this block. So to change the color of string before setting it into a text view, you will have to use this spannable string builder. So what I did here is I have just created a spannable string builder and initialized it, and inside this I have passed this string state name because I have to change the color of some part or full part of this state name before setting the text view. So what I did here is I just made a pattern of search text, and I'm basically checking that pattern with the state name. Okay, so that if whenever I get a match, then it will replace the color of that match inside the state name. So that's how it is working, and after that I just assign that SB to our text view. So if you have any problem understanding this code, please let me know. I will help you. Now let's go further to implement the code to show the district data. We will implement the code on this on click method. As you can see, if you click on this button, you will go to the next activity, in which you will have the list of all the districts of this state. So to implement this, let's see how we can implement. So we will go to this activity, each state data activity, and we will add this line of code. So we first disable this toast message, and we have created an intent and to load a new activity, which is district wise data activity. It is not currently available in our project, so let's create quickly an empty activity with the same name. So I'm creating an empty activity with the same name. Okay, it is created. So once you click on this linear layout, then it will open this activity, and we are passing a value which is the string state name. So whenever we are opening this new activity, so it will pass this data to our new activity, so that we can fetch the districts under a specific state. So we will fetch the district using this state which we are passing into our next activity. So let's write the layout here. So I will just copy the layout from my GitHub repository. So I have already added the codes here, so don't worry, I will give the link in the description so that you can uh, go there and see the codes if you missed anything here. So as you can see, the layout is mostly the same as it was for the state. So we have a search box, title card view, and we have a recycler view. We have just changed the IDs here, nothing else. So and in this recycler view, we will use a custom layout which we have already created for state. So we have under this layout, we have already this layout state wise. So we will use this layout to load our district data also, because both will look like same. So the custom layout which we will use in our recycler view is this, for both state and district. So you can rename it as your will. So if you can rename it as like layout underscore all, so it will load for district as well as state. So I previously named it at state wise, so I'm keeping it as it is. So close it for now. Okay, we have written our layout. Now we will create a model class. So to fetch the data, so get the data for a district. So what data we will get for a district, so that for that we will create a method, sorry, model. So we will name it as district wise model. Okay, and we will quickly copy from here all the codes, and we will paste it inside this class. Okay, we have created our model. So if you have any issue understanding how the model is created, you can check out my previous videos. I have explained everything to how you can create a model, so I will skip that part to make my video short. So the next thing I will do is I have to create an adapter class to load our custom layout to the recycler view, to the main to the activity of district wise. So I will create an adapter and named it as district wise adapter, and same, I will copy all the codes from here. into here. Let's create this for now. Move this click event for now. Okay, so we have added our adapter, district wise adapter. Now we will write our code in the main district wise activity. So we will open that activity. We will close this because we have done our part in that classes. So we will open the district wise data activity. Now we will write our code inside this activity. So first thing I will do is I will define all the variables inside our class. So Recyclerview and adapter and array list of type model wise district wise model. After that I will define our swipe refresh layout and edit text. Then I will define some strings to fetch the data and load into a string. Then we will define an object of main activity so that we can use the progress dialog from that activity. Now inside on create activity we will create a get intent method to fetch the data which we get from the previous activity. So we are only getting the state name from that previous activity. That's why we have just written the get string extra and passing the parameter as the key, the state key which we have added in the last activity to pass the data. So the same key we need to use to fetch the data into our next activity. So that's why we have passed the state name. Now we will initialize our views inside on create method. So on create method we will, okay, before that we will set up our toolbar. So inside on create we have set the title as region or district, and we are setting up an icon, and to add the click we need to add an override method on option create menu, so that on click of that back button in the toolbar we will finish this activity. Means go back to the previous activity. Then we will initialize our views which we have defined at the top. So we'll initialize, we'll add an init method inside our on create method. So we will create an init method, and inside init method we will initialize all our views. Now after initializing we will fetch the data, district wise data. So we will, after init we will write a method to fetch the data, and inside this method we will first, whenever this method is called, we will show a dialog box to the user, and after that we are created. Okay, I will just copy all the codes because I've already explained everything in the previous videos. So if you want to know the explanation what this code does, you can refer to the previous videos because I've already explain everything in details for this JSON array list array request and for this request queue. So we will import all the classes quickly. Or I will just copy the imports from here. It will take less time. Okay. I'm getting an error. I don't know why. Okay, package name is missing. Now the error should gone. Yes, it is gone. Now we have written our code. So how we are fetching the data is we are using another API for this. This is the let's me show you this API to you guys. So basically this is the array of string array of objects in JSON format. So as you can see, first object is this, and first object is containing the unassigned state, so we will not use from 0 index, we will use from 1 index. So the first index is this, and inside this we have state and state code, and inside this we have nested uh, array of objects, and inside this array district data we have multiple objects for each district. So we have nested arrays inside here in this API. So how we can fetch it? We will create a JSON array request. Inside this we will pass the parameters. I have already explained the parameters in the previous video. You can go and check out that. And inside the response listener method we will write our code in the on response method. So first we will clear our array list, so that whenever we call this function, this fetch district wise function, so first it will clear the array list and then it will load the array list with the data. Otherwise it will duplicating the all the datas whenever you call this function. Now we are running a loop, for loop from 1. As I already mentioned, the 0th index has this state unassigned, so we are not using that. So we are starting the index from 1 and we are looping up to the length of the array. So the state the length of the state which is available in this API. And inside this for loop we are creating an JSON object. So JSON object basically we are getting is uh, each object. The first object is this. So if suppose I is equal to 1, then we have in this JSON object instance we will have the value of this object, the first object. No, sorry, if I have 1, then I have this, I will have this object, this whole object here till here. We have this whole object inside this JSON object instance for I equal to 1. Similarly, we for I equal to 2, we have this value, this Andhra Pradesh states object till till here. So you can understand. If you have any issue understanding this, you can ask me in the comment section. So that's how we are accessing each object. Means I'm saying object, it means the states. So each state is an object here. So we are fetching each objects inside the for loop for every index, and inside this, for every index, we have a nested districts. So we are fetching, we are checking the names. Okay, we are comparing the name which we have got from the previous activity. So we are comparing that name with all those values object present in the API. So whenever it match with any state, so as you can see, I have used a state key. So here also, for every object it is state. So for every object it is used state. So I am fetching the data for state name with this key, state key, and comparing it with this which we have received from the last activity. So that's how we are fetching the state. And if it matches with the state, means suppose I clicked on uh, Maharashtra. Okay, so in this activity we will have the string state name as Maharashtra, and it will compare. If we click on this, it will compare this state Maharashtra in all the objects. Okay, and it will check with this state for every. So if we go to the API and search for Mahara, so you can see this is the object we will get. So here it is Maharashtra, and in our code this is Maharashtra, and it, whenever it get the result, I mean the object, see this is the object we will get while checking, and then it will go inside this if block. So after comparing the data, after matching the data with the state name, we are creating a JSON array, because we will have multiple districts inside a state. As you can see, for Maharashtra we have a district data key, and inside this we have multiple objects. So this is basically an object array. So that's why we have not defined it here as a JSON object. We are assigning it as JSON array. So we have taken all the data, all the objects of this array, and stored it in JSON array district, and with the key of district data. So as you can see, the key is district data. So all the objects inside this district data will be stored in this JSON array district variable. And after that we are running a loop on this array list to fetch each object and fetch the data from that object. So we are running a for loop from j0 to the last index of that array list. So we are basically running a loop from every block, every object. So the first at the 0th index the district is Ahmednagar. The second uh, the index 1 has district Akola. So that's how we are fetching the object, and again we are creating an JSON object and storing the object at that index. So for index 0 we have Ahmednagar, index 1 we have Akola, index 3, index 2 we have Amravati, index 3 we have Aurangabad, just like that. And we are storing the data into JSON object, and then we are fetching the data by just the key which is used in the API, and we are storing the data into the string. So that how it is working. So I hope you can understand this. So if you have any issue, please let me know. So this part is done. Okay, so let's check if our app is running fine or not. Gradle is built. Our app is installed. Okay, I will go to state data, and if I go to Maharashtra, so as you can see, if I click on the states of Maharashtra, then see, I got the list. So that's working. Now we will set up the swipe refresh layout. Okay, let's go to our activity. We will copy the codes from here and click here. So inside this swipe refresh layout, we are just calling this function to fetch the district wise data again and disable after fetching. And for the searching, I have just added the same code which I did for the state, so there is no change. So I will just copy and paste it in our class, in our activity class. So if you are first watching this video, please go to the previous video so that you will have a good understanding, because I have already explained everything in that video. Okay, now we will implement the click event on each item of this list so that it will open a new activity and load the data for each district. Okay, so to implement that, we have already defined the linear layout here. So on this linear layout we will implement the on click method. So we will copy from our GitHub repo. So the district wise adapter, from the district wise adapter we have to add this line of code in our on bind view holder. Okay, so whenever you click on a particular uh, district in the list, then it will open a new activity. It will open, I have added an intent, and in intent I have opening a new activity, each district data activity, and I'm passing all the values, means district name, district confirm, district so these are the constants which I have not added currently, so I will add them quickly. So here in the constants I will add all those. So we will have to import all the constants here. So we will create a new activity with this name. Okay, cut this for now. So it will open a new activity and we are passing all these values to the new activity. Now we will define layout for the each district data activity. I have not added the swipe refresh layout here because we are not refreshing the data in this page. We are just fetching the data from the last activity. That's why I have not added the swipe refresh layout here. So we will go to our each date. Okay, we have added the layout here, so it will look like this. We have 4 fields and a pie chart, so we will load it in the each district data activity. So let's open that activity first. So we will define our variables. Okay, first, and then we will fetch the data which was sent from the last activity. Get intent. Okay, And as you can see, we have used the same uh, keys which we have used to send the data into this activity, to fetch this data in this activity. So quickly import all these constants values. Okay, now next thing, we will initialize our variables, and then we will set up our toolbar in the onCreate method, and we will add the init method in the onCreate method, so that it will get called whenever this activity is open. Then we will just simply load the data from those fields. So, and we will not forget to add this on override method to enable the back click on the menu icon, on the back icon on the toolbar. And under this load district data, as we have already fetched the data, so we will just show the user a false progress of 1 second, so that it will look like the data is loaded. But if you don't add this delay handler, so it will load the data instantly. I have just used this dialog to show some delay and some progress, so that it looks like the data is being loading in background. So it looks nice. So I've added here. So you can remove this. It's your wish. I have added this also here. Now let's check our app. Let's quickly run. Okay, our app is started. Now let's go to state data. So we have a list of all the states from the API. Now if I click on any item, we will have the details of that uh, state, and we have a title in our toolbar of that state, and at the below we have an option to select the district data of Delhi. So if you click on that, you will have another page in which you will have all the list of all the uh, regions or districts of that state. So if you search for anything, you will see that highlight color is also implemented here also. And if you click on anything, you'll have this, the data is loaded. So this is how I implemented this thing. We will implement the country wise data in the next video. So whenever you click on this country data, it will get you into a new activity in which you will get a list of all the countries, and when you click on any particular country, then the data for that country will be shown to you in the new activity. So that we will implement in the next video. That's all for this video, guys. If you really like this video, then please press the like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, and don't forget to press the bell icon to get updated from my latest videos. So if I upload any new video, you will get notification. And if you face any kind of issue with the codes, if you didn't understand the code or anything else, so I am here to help you guys. Please let me know in the comment section below, or you can directly ping me on the social media, Instagram, Facebook, or anywhere. I will give the link in the description below. You can check out and ping me directly. So I will try my best to answer you guys. And for the codes, I've given the link of my GitHub repository in the description below. You can check out the codes from there. So that's it. See you guys in the next video.